Alright guys, so today's hobby vlog is obviously going to be black powder and Napoleonic centric. Just wanted to show off the things that I've completed since the last time I did a black powder Napoleonic hobby vlog update. Hasn't been much. I did take a break. I was a little burnt out in December as I was trying to complete the French side and obviously working on James's Prussians. So I needed to take a break. You've seen all of that stuff if you've been following the channel for a while. I've segued to different games and different game systems in order to kind of refresh my palette. But I am now more motivated to get some of this stuff done because I want to get started in playing Black Powder with James. So this is going to be mostly a French Napoleonic Army centric video. So I'm going to show off everything that I have completed on the French side and a little bit of the British side, and then I'm going to talk about my plans for expanding beyond the Waterloo two-player starter. So, as you can see, I have my 2 line battalions done, as well as the general. You've seen this before in the last update. What you didn't see is that I have half, or 2/3 of a half squadron of chasseurs à cheval completed. I'll have another stand to do, and I'll have that half squadron done. And then we'll come back to the artillery piece later. But in terms of the Waterloo two-player starter, there are enough figures or enough units in the box set on each side to create a 4-unit division for the game. So that's the nice thing about Waterloo two-player starter. It's enough to create your first division. However, on the French side, the caveat is that you would split your 12 chasseurs à cheval into 2 half squadrons, and that'll give you 4 units for a division. However, moving forward as I begin to expand beyond the Waterloo starter, I wanted to show off that I did get an artillery piece. This is the 6-pounder foot artillery. It doesn't constitute a full battery in Black Powder. This would be a half battery. If I get another 6-pounder, then I would have a full battery. But in terms of expanding beyond Waterloo, I would have, with a chasseur at full strength, that's 12 mounted cavalry, I would have the 4 units for a complete division of the French army. And then obviously moving beyond that, I want to create a brigade, and that's where everything is kind of wide open in terms of how I'm going to build out my first brigade of French Napoleonic. So kind of in that vein, you've seen this guy before. He's going to be what I'm going to use as a divisional commander for the game. He looks pretty neat. This is a Perry medal from the Mounted Colonel's blister that I unboxed a while ago. But what I've done is actually start working on another box of line infantry for Waterloo. I actually bought this a while ago. This one does have the medal command, so this particular battalion will have that medal command in there, whereas these from the 2-player Waterloo starter set does not have command. And obviously, as I begin to expand this particular part of the army, I'll be getting some command that'll go in there, and then I'll have to mix and match a few things to kind of make it bigger. So on the British side, you've seen this before. I have the foot general completed, as well as the British foot artillery 6-pounder. But I have started working on the line infantry. I do have 1 stand complete. I'm working on the 2nd stand. Obviously, painting on the sprue with contrast paints are helping quite a lot. So, really not a lot to say about the British. I have started priming more line infantry as well as the Hanoverians. That's pretty much it for the Waterloo portion of this hobby vlogs. I'm going to move on to the next portion, which is stuff that you've seen unboxed before, but I kind of am starting to formulate a plan on how to expand my French army. So we'll be right back. Alright guys, so this is not really the totality of everything that I've unboxed for the French, for Black Powder. You've actually seen a lot more stuff than this, but I've actually begun building out some of this stuff here. Namely, what's missing from this pile are a box of French Hussars, and then a box of the Warlord Old Guard Grenadiers. Those are already unboxed and being assembled and primed and all that fun stuff. But I wanted to take an opportunity to kind of give a direction, mostly for me, on how I'm going to set this up for my first brigade. So starting off, Napoleonic Line Infantry 1812 to 1815. This is actually going to create another battalion. However, because I'm playing medium-sized battalions, 24 of this 42 will be a line battalion of medium standard size, and then I'll have a smaller battalion out of that. I'm not quite sure how I'm going to work it out, but that's the kind of the idea that I'm going to go with for now. Either I'm going to supplement that second tinier or smaller battalion with more figures from a different set, for example, the elite companies. But as this is mainly a build-up from the Waterloo 2-player starter, I might just end up getting another one of these boxes. But obviously, I got a lot of figures to work on, so I'm going to stick with this for now. Next up are the Old Guard. So I'm using Albion Triumphant Book 2 in order to build out my force, and I will be creating a separate brigade of just Old Guard using the Old Guard Grenadiers that I unboxed from Warlord, and then supplementing that with this, as well as the 12-pounder that I unboxed to support this particular division for the game. So Vitrix has a lot of figures in here, so this is really going to pad out the size of my Old Guard division, and then obviously supported by that 12-pounder. I'd like to get a second one so I can have a full battery. In that same vein, I have 2 boxes of Hussars, which I would like to create like a cavalry division based on the Albion Triumphant Book 2. So that's another thing that's going to happen in terms of me building up my first brigade. So got the Waterloo 2-player starter, the French from that, building up with this line infantry box, creating a separate division, just Old Guard, and then a separate cavalry division of Hussars. I would like to actually add another cavalry unit into that division, maybe Dragoons, or at least something heavier to kind of complement the light cavalry that the Hussars represent. So that is the update for Waterloo and how I'm going to build up from that. However, Napoleonic era being the way it is, I do want to create our brigade for Peninsular War, or earlier in the Napoleonic era, and that's why I have these 2 boxes here. Obviously, this elite company's box really pads out my my light infantry slash Voltigeur, as well as the Grenadiers, which can actually help me create more battalions of the infantry battalion box here. Obviously, I think I'm going to need to get another one of these, but really, because I'll be playing mostly in the Waterloo portion, the 100 Days campaign portion of the war, the peninsular portion will be just a slow grow build. And based on our table size, we're actually not going to go beyond maybe the 1 or 2 brigades. We just don't have the room for it. But this should be more than enough to demonstrate the enjoyability, the fun of black powder. So anyway, those are my thoughts. Like I said, I'm going to be using Albion Triumphant Book 2 for the 100 Days campaign build up from the Waterloo 2-player starter, and then probably Albion Triumphant Book 1 for the Peninsular War build up. So anyway, that is what I got. It doesn't seem like a lot, but for me this is a lot of figures, and again, it's been slow going since I'm the only one painting. I still have to work on James's Prussians, as well as the British portion of the Waterloo two-player starter, so we have a variety of armies that we can field for battle reports. But yeah, that is the plan. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this. If you liked it, go ahead and click like. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, I appreciate it if you would. Click the bell notification icon to get notified of all new unboxings, hobby vlogs, battle reports coming out of the channel, and then click the link in the description below to join our Discord server. That is the best way I can personally interact with you and chit-chat you about Black Powder, Hail Caesar, Bolt Action, and any other game that we cover on the channel. So that's it. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more hobby vlog from WarGamingNewb Historical.